Peter Parker is a high school nerd who lives in Queens. He's crushing on Mary Jane Watson and he's friends with Harry Osborn. He lives with his aunt and uncle, and do I really need to explain all this at this point? Anyway, they take a field trip to a genetics lab and Peter gets bit by a radioactive spider. General Slocum visits Harry's father, Norman Osborn, and he's not satisfied with the progress on his super soldier formula. Peter passes out in his room and he has spiders in his body now? Osborn tests his formula on himself and gets all mad and stuff. Peter wakes up shredded with a tan and perfect eyesight. Puberty, right? He starts sticking to stuff, shooting webs from his arms and seeing everything in slow-mo. He then lives every nerd's high school fantasy. He runs from school and practices his spidey powers in the most dangerous way possible. He wants to make money to get a car to impress MJ and finds this wrestling thing where he needs to pretty much stay alive for 3 minutes fighting this dude Bonesaw. He shoots his load all over his room and then goes to the wrestling match.
With great power comes great responsibility.
He actually knocks out Bonesaw, and honestly, that is America's ass. The promoter only gives him $100 for his win, and Peter is angry. A guy comes in to rob the promoter, and Peter lets him go. Outside, he finds his uncle has been shot and he dies. Peter goes after the criminal, and he finds out it's the guy he let go before, so he's shook. A laughing flying gremlin thing destroys Quest prototype and kills General Slocum. Peter designs this whole costume by himself, apparently, and starts swinging around stopping crime. Peter was taking selfies before it was cool, and he sells them to the Daily Bugle. Norman's board members sell the company and kick him out behind his back. He's the Green Goblin, and he attacks Oscorp's annual festival thing and turns the board into Halloween decorations. Everyone is caked up in this movie. Norman's just like Gollum and Smeagol from the small indie movie. The Goblin does the cliche speech of asking the hero to join him. Spidey saves MJ a few times and they end up kissing in the rain. Peter gets cut by a blade while fighting the Green Meanie. During the most awkward Thanksgiving dinner ever, Osborn notices the cut on Peter's arm and figures out 1 + 1 = 2. He decides to attack Aunt May for reasons. He goes after MJ next and he also gets a trolley car full of children and forces Spidey to choose who to save. It's all pointless because Spidey saves everyone anyway and he's then helped by the people of New York. El Goblino gets mad and spikes Peter in some abandoned ruins. They fight and Goblin has the upper hand until he starts talking shit about MJ. Spidey goes Ultra Instinct and butt slaps Goblin to submission. Goblin reveals he's Norman and tries to convince Peter that he's a nice person, all while planning to backstab him with his glider. Not sure what he was thinking there, to be honest. Norman tells Peter not to tell Harry. Peter takes Norman's body back to his penthouse and Harry sees it and decides to blame Spidey for some reason. At Norman's funeral, Harry swears to avenge his father and MJ declares her love for Peter. He friendzones her and she sorta kinda figures out that he's Spidey, but it's irrelevant in the sequel, so I don't know what that's about. Happy end, I guess.